Hello, everybody. Thank you so much for joining us this evening. I'm very, very happy that this is the first of 3 fireside chats that we'll be having with 2 of the participants tonight of Cammie's Faces of Mental Health campaign. It is so important, and I can't be more honored to have Karandeep, Gill, and Keith Lyon with us tonight. Good evening.
Good evening.
It is so important, and you two know this already, and I think that this will resonate at home or wherever you are, that when people start sharing their truths, when we break open, when we're raw, vulnerable, and real, and we tell each other how we feel, these are the first steps towards recovery, towards slowly healing. And Karandeep, you're 20 years old right now. I know that your troubles started surfacing when you were about 15.
Yeah.
I want to ask you one deep question from the get-go right now. What is your greatest fear right now, living with mental health issues?
So I feel like my greatest fear right now living with mental health issues is my mental illness prohibiting me from reaching my goals. I'm always about achieving grit under unfortunate circumstances, and I never want my mental illness from stopping me going to school or achieving my goals as in my career and in my work placements and such. So that's my biggest fear right now, that and someone not understanding what I'm going through. Sharing my experience and vulnerability is a big thing. You know, people ask you, how are you able to do this? And in my head, I just think about the people I'm impacting and the lives that I can possibly be changing. If I can change the perspective of mental illness and mental health amongst even one person, that would be amazing.
Yeah. And has it affected your life in ways that, you know, it has prevented you for going forward professionally or personally?
Personally, like, I've been in school for a while as an undergrad with, I'm at the University of Waterloo studying speech, communication, and business, but I've proven my mental illness wrong. I completed a management certificate from Harvard Business School this past summer, and and continuing to pursuing my career in project management and just accomplishing my work placements. So I'm just trying to prove my mental illness wrong, that I can do anything my mind to.
That's a good line. I've never heard it, you know, put in those terms. We're going to speak with Keith very soon, but please just let us know quickly, Karandeep, what do you suffer from and how do you deal with it every day?
I suffer from schizoaffective disorder, bipolar type, and my motto is take everything one day at a time. If today's horrible, there's tomorrow. If tomorrow's horrible, there's another day after that, and so on and so forth. So I take everything one day at a time. I let myself know that it's okay to not be okay, but everything is temporary, which is everything that's bad is temporary.
Incredible. Keith, I know your issues started in your 20s, right?
Yes.
Correct. And tell us a little bit about your story quickly.
So I've been dealing with paranoid schizophrenia for 18 years now. I spent 10 years in and out of psychiatric hospitals, psych wards. I was actually tasered twice. I was handcuffed, shackled many different times, brought in the hospital, in messes. My family and friends had to watch me, you know, be tasered, be handcuffed, shackled. You know, my mom sitting by my bedside crying, not knowing if I was ever going to get better. 10 years in and out, in and out. But saying all that, Sophie, I am on the road of recovery. May 25th, we celebrated 8 years at a hospital. I have published 4 children's stories, and the 5th one is on the go right now. Portions of sales go to mental health, and you can find all 4 books on Amazon. And I've been working for 3 years now with Sophie's. So Sophie's took me with no experience, no, you know, didn't work for 10 years, have mental health. They took a shot on me. Now I'm succeeding in the company. My coworkers love me. My regular customers or customers that I don't even know, they love me. So what I want to get out here, and I think Karandeep will echo me on this, we hit rock bottom, Sophie, right? But now we're up here. So we went from here to here, and you know, all the hard work, right, Karandeep, that we put in, like today, this award, this conversation, all that hard work we put in has paid off. and I have no regrets. It makes me who I am today, and I love sharing my story. And it's cool to be a face. It's cool to be talking to you right now. And I have some really cool experience with this face campaign, and it's great.
Keith, I just want to say something. I don't want to interrupt you, but I will, because what you said about the work really resonates. Because as somebody who suffered from mental health issues with eating disorders for many years when I was younger, people ask me, how did you recover? It takes time, it takes patience. One thing it takes is work. It will
gotta put the
by itself, but it's possible.
So you got to put the blood, sweat, and tears into it, Sophie, right? And what I tell people with mental illness, no one's going to hand anything to you. Like, you need to work on it. You need to take the steps to get better, and you got to want it. And me and Karandeep wanted it, didn't we, Karandeep?
Yeah. So like,
like
positive activities and like meditation is one thing, but you have to change your whole lifestyle around for sure.
Yeah. I have mental health days, and it might be coming home and watching the TV, or it might be coming home and writing a story. It might be going out with the friends for a hockey game, or going out to eat, or doing something fun. For me, you need to look after yourself, right?
Can you guys give us tips on how you look out for yourself and your mental health? Like, quickly, Karandeep, a couple of tips.
So a couple of tips I do is I wake up at the same time every day. I sleep at the same time every day. I have a very structured schedule. I go for morning runs. Exercise is so important, but I also present myself with kindness and self-compassion. If I can't get out of bed one day, I'm just gonna take it easy, take it slow, and I savor the days where I am productive.
Yeah.
Keith?
Yeah, you just gotta look at like the positives. You gotta just take care of yourself, do all the steps to work on it. Like I said before, if it's, doing something that you just love, or just something that relaxes you, just focus. You gotta focus on the good, right? You can't go on the negative. You gotta always focus on the good. And what I tell people too is what me and Karandeep and these other faces have gone through. Little things in life just don't matter, do they, Karandeep? The things that used to bother us, what we went through, those little things really don't matter, right? Do you agree with that?
Like, what do you do when you do hit rock bottom? Because it happens to everybody. What would you tell people right now who are suffering deeply? How do you lift yourself? Because you can't do it by yourself, only by yourself. You have to reach out. So what?
Yeah. So for me, I would say, talk about it. If you are having a bad day, if you are, like for me, it was voices and severe paranoia. So the voices would tell me to hurt myself, tell me that I'm no good. That's why I stabbed myself. I was tasered because of it. So it's like, you need to focus on the positive, and you got to just, say, okay, just step back and say, okay, I am not doing good right now. I am at rock bottom, right? Step back and say, I need to change my life. I need to get over this. I need to talk to my family. I need to talk to my friends. I need to get it out there and be like, listen, I'm having a terrible day today. Can you help me? And how can you help me? And just, reach out. We need to reach out. When I got sick, and Karandeep would probably say, you couldn't talk about it. So I'm a big, big advocate of just talking about your feelings. And if you are, hearing voices or the suicidal thoughts, talk about it. So you need to do that, right, Karandeep?
I agree with Keith. So like, I'm a university student, and during exam time, one of the most stressful moments for every student out there, I was living on campus, and I kept everything from my family, my mom, and I said to them, like, I'm doing fine, I'm doing great with my assignments, I'm studying, but little did they know I was struggling. And what my mom said to me was, this isn't a you recovery, this is a we recovery. All in all, we'll get through this together. So think one of the most flaws that I had was not opening up to anyone, just
Yes.
letting myself be alone. So I think that's one of the biggest things I would say.
And do you think that for all the people out there who are suffering and who don't find comfort within their circle of friends or family, because this happens too, sometimes the trauma is created within the family and within the circle of friends. What do you do then?
For me, what I do is like, I grew up in a Punjabi community where the stigma is very extremely high. And in the beginning, my family didn't understand what was going on with me. What I did was try to educate them. I went to psychiatrists, counselors, pharmacists, and I said, can you please explain this to my family? Can you show them that this is not my fault? I would call helplines, just trying to find that support within. Somebody is always willing to listen.
That is so true. There are allies along the way everywhere. Even if they're not close to you, they're there. You just have to take one step, right? One step.
Yes. I agree with Karandeep. We need to educate not just our family and friends. We need to educate the world. We need to educate the professionals. We need to educate them, show them, you know, we aren't crazy. We have a mental illness, right? One of my workers in Centricare, the psych hospital, has said it beautifully. He said, Keith, you're not schizophrenic. You have schizophrenia.
One thing that I hope that you can feel it when I say it is that I often say that we're all one trauma away from one another. It takes one life event, one bad luck, one traumatic, situation, and you can be triggered differently. You don't even know it's waiting for you. So when you hear or see somebody that is suffering, know that that person is closer to you than you might think.
Yeah. So Sophie, I didn't realize I needed my family until I got sick, right? I was, rebellion. I was, not the nicest person sometimes. And then I got sick and I realized that's my family, Sophie. And I talked to my mom will probably tell you that I call too much now. But,
you never call your mother too much, am I right?
But I always end in I love you. Just, you know what I mean? Always. So Megan's sick, Sophie, it's brought our family closer than ever.
Is that the same thing with you, Karandeep?
Yeah, so trauma for me, like I grew up with my father having a stroke when I was 4 or 5 years old, and he passed away 3 years ago, and it was so traumatic for me. He was the closest person I ever had in my life, and I thought I wouldn't get through it, but what he taught me was resilience. So to keep going under even negative situations, we're all going through something hard, each and one of us, so it's important to be kind to one another.
I don't want to end this because you guys are angels. I would be talking with you all evening. But resilience, the good news, anybody who's listening right now, and science is showing this, resilience is not something you're born with. It's something that you develop. And the more you reach out to other people, the better resilience you will build in your life. Yeah. This is why it's possible to recover.
Yeah.
Well, I'm sending you so much love, and I salute you for being so courageous. And for inspiring so many people around you. Never stop, please. Sending so much love to you and all your loved ones.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you, Sophie.
Bye. Thank you.